That's right, we at the barbershop. Stay tuned.
All right. It's your man Max Weezy, live from the 919. Virtually, I got my man David DJ Rowell here inside the barbershop, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh man, it's a pleasure, Max. Man, I'm glad to be a part of everything you're doing, man. I love the movement.
I appreciate it. Well, welcome inside the barbershop, but I know for most of us, being inside of a real barbershop is hard to come by in these coronavirus conditions. But I thank you for jumping on the podcast version of the barbershop, buddy.
I'm still trying to get that cut, man.
I was able to get one shape up a couple weeks ago, but it's been hard to get back, man, with everything now. And I know you're based in South Carolina, right? Are you still in Charlotte?
No. I'm actually in Atlanta.
You're in Atlanta. Okay.
But I'm from South Carolina.
Okay, yeah, I know you're from South Carolina. Gotcha. So you're in Atlanta. So yeah, I know Atlanta's been more open because me and the wife were actually just in Atlanta, but.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. We were just in Atlanta, and I know things are a lot more open, but in North Carolina, things have actually scaled back. So it's kind of been harder to do that type of thing. But anyway, thanks so much again for coming on. And I have a lot of things, and you do a lot, and I'm not even going to just like read off of all the stuff that you're kind of involved in. We're just gonna have this conversation. People will find out, but man, DJ, for my audience, man, DJs, you've been involved in a lot of different things in the past few years, and like everyone else, like a young person, especially a young Black man, just trying to find yourself and find your place in the world. And I find your story very interesting. The first question I have for you, though, because it's in your Instagram bio, I gotta ask you this. You say you're a personality expert. What exactly is that?
Oh my goodness, a personality expert. That just means that you're like water. You know, I mean, water forms to any type of mode that it's in. You know, it flows wherever it's supposed to flow. So, at any time, any place, you can put me in any type of atmosphere, and I'm just gonna flow.
Basically, like the Bruce Lee philosophy.
Just like the Bruce Lee. Just like him.
Nice. So I want to start off by, where you and I sort of connect is we both went to Queen's University of Charlotte. We both interned for the Ryan Seacrest Foundation. And I talk about all the time how great of an experience that was. And I'm sure you can relate. But yeah, no, it was really great. But I want to kind of take the audience to after that. You through that opportunity, you're able to tour with Low Cash, Country Act, and so just I wanted you to get a chance to describe just like that experience, being behind the scenes with, not only just like in the music business but country music. Like, what was that experience like, and what did that teach you?
Oh, it was phenomenal, man. Just being able to uproot and move and finish school online, but to uproot and live on a tour bus. A lot of people don't know that tour life is it's the real deal. It's rough. You spend most of your year on a bus, and those guys become your family. Low Cash does about 250 shows a year. That's insane. There's only 365 days.
Right.
So, you do a show, you're there all day, and at night you pack up your stuff, you get on the road, and you go to the next place. There's been times we would book hotels and never see the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a terrific experience being out on the road, meeting so many people, seeing how you interact with fans, and seeing that, my biggest thing with Low Cash is I love the way that they interacted with fans. I love the way that they made every fan feel special. Like, everyone felt like they knew them individually, and they're rock stars, man. Brought me on like a little brother. I see them as big brothers. We still talk to this very day, and they're very much involved in everything that I do. They always look out. So they're great guys.
Did you ever feel out of place in the country music environment though? Because, like, to be honest, like, in the Black community, like, a lot of us like don't really listen to country. So like, is people sometimes feel like there's a separation, like white and Black. Did you ever feel out of place there?
Oh man, this is real barbershop talk, huh?
Yeah, yes, sir. You serious? I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, just curious. I mean,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
seriously, a lot of people were curious about that, because we don't, as a culture, primarily latch on to country music. I was one of them. I knew a few country songs, but they were the ones that crossed over to like major pop.
right.
So going there, it was different because I wasn't a fan of the music. Wasn't. I enjoy. It was like an acquired taste. I began to enjoy it and learn how to love it and appreciate it. But it was very much different. And being the only black guy all the
Mhm.
time, usually in the country atmosphere, it's a bit different. You get certain looks, you get certain eyes on you. But it was,
Mhm.
low cash were very embracing.
Mhm.
They made that transition fairly easy.
Yeah,
I think I had a different experience because those guys were phenomenal.
right. And that's something I was just curious because I mean, you mentioned they treated you like family, and I've heard just from being in the Ryan Seacrest internship, like a lot of us, we got to meet a lot of different musical acts, and something uh, that I kind of got from just meeting people from different types of uh, musical backgrounds, but also just what I was told was that country as an industry is a little bit more family oriented. They all sort of know each other. It's based in Nashville, which is the
City.
hub, and it's a great city, but it's also kind of feels like a small town. So I just was just curious about the intersection of that, but yeah, and just in that experience too, like how did you because that also led to other things for you. I know that I was just on your website and I was reading that also led you to the Pacers. You were able to play. You were able to try out and you were able to like meet
Right.
some of
Yeah.
the players and stuff. So being and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but you're acting now. So being behind the scenes for those years in the music industry, you're acting, you've experienced both collegiately and somewhat professionally the basketball world. What of those three industries, what would you say probably is the hardest to succeed in?
Uh, of the music, the basketball, and the acting.
Yeah.
By far, I'm gonna say it's probably it. I think they're all the same, man. They're all the same. And Max, I say that's a hard question to answer because I say that because they all require the same things: consistency, hard work. There's some talents that some people have that you will never have. Some people like Zion. I saw that
Yeah.
picture he took. Everybody, no matter what, no one's going to be able to. That's God given that he can jump that high. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
could be the same build, the same body, but you can't teach what he has. So
Yeah.
that's a bit of, something that, you kind of get lucky to have. But all of them take consistency. All of them take persistence. All of them say there's a lot of no's before you get a yes. Right now, I'd say the toughest one is probably is the acting world because it's such a small world in the acting world. Everybody connects full circle,
Mhm.
and it's just tough to get into, and
Yeah.
it's tough to stay relevant in it.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely want to come back to the acting part, but I want to just on the basketball side of things, it being in again being your experience what it was, you kind of understand what it's like to be kind of like trying out, trying to make it a team professionally, and sort of being in the swing of things between like college and professional. How do
Hmm.
you think, with the current pandemic going on, how do you think it affects the players who aren't superstars like LeBron, who's got a gym in his backyard, he's got a basketball court in his backyard, and he can work out and work on his game? Those players that are trying to make it, maybe they on the bench they don't have like the superstar salary or even like G League players. Like, in in your mind, or maybe just from your experience, or just from players that you might know and stuff. What do you? How do you think that they're? How in your? What if you were in that place? First of all, how would you go about handling it, and what do you think they're going through, trying to navigate this pandemic, but also all trying to stay afloat in basketball?
Right. Well, if it were me and I wasn't on a LeBron status, I tried to be in the gym, taking advantage of all this downtime that everybody's not doing. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
find a way to get in the gym and just stay there to be getting better and better and better because a lot of people aren't in the gym right now for several reasons. You know, they can't really compete, but because they're not allowing them to get too close. And if they
right,
are competing now, just pass. You know, so they can practice, but it's definitely going to hurt a lot of players, and it's already hurt tons of players. You know, opportunities. You know, some people were on the brinks of getting to the NBA from the G League,
right,
and that's completely wiped away now. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Everything is like it's a reset button for everybody. So it does kind of suck, but you got to make the most of it. You know, it's
right.
like it's like starting over. You know, you got to be prepared to, if it all goes away today, you got to be prepared to, pick up the pieces and make something new. You know.
After the Pacers opportunity, though, was it hard for you to give up basketball? Like, was that a hard?
Oh man. Oh my gosh. Any athlete, it's so tough to divorce basketball,
Yeah,
And when you're only known as a basketball player and you've been put on this pedestal and people look at you a certain way as just an athlete, it's tough to find a new identity. So it was extremely I thought it was already done, but when I was with Locash, one of the guys is from Indiana, so we
mhm,
would go and actually play with the Pacers after the shows, like
right,
practice and
right.
and one day just like, oh man, this guy looks like he actually, he's not an amateur,
Yeah,
and it led from there, and there was an opportunity after Paul George left to fill some spots,
Mhm.
and we went from there. But it was seriously, it was to have another chance was exciting, but to have to go through the process of letting it back to go again for me it was a little relieving because it was like it's time to move on, and pass it along to others. My
Right.
knowledge and the experience that I've had, but yeah, it's just tough. It's tough to let it go.
Well, now that so you made that transition from you were behind the scenes with Locash, you tried the basketball thing out, and now you're acting. Um, I know. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at least I saw that you had did a project with Darius McCary. Am I right? Okay. Yeah.
Darius, Kelly Williams, they both Kelly played Laura Winslow from Family Matters.
Yes.
Darius played Eddie Winslow,
Yeah.
and also Sean was our acting coach, and he played Waldo.
Yeah, Family Matters is so slept on. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I watched the Family Matters reruns when I was younger, but I also watched it again on Hulu from start to finish.
Hmm.
You know, a phenomenal show does not get enough love because I mean that period of time there's a lot. I mean, I give credit to Martin and Fresh Prince and all that, and they
Right.
all deserve credit. But I think Family Matters was a phenomenal show. But um, how do like from working with them because obviously they had experience, great actors, great experience on a
Right.
great TV show. What did that experience teach you?
It's very humbling, especially to see them so down to earth, and you know going from where transitioning from basketball to music and then getting into acting, and a lot of people wait years before they can get an extra role, and here I am. I landed a leading role in the
Mm,
film. I took that opportunity to just absorb all the information as possible. I asked several questions. I was just a sponge on the wall. um, and it just taught me to just be open to new things, and just listen. Just I don't it's a it's a terrific experience. You see Kelly, she's one of your idols, or if you love, we love Family Matters, like you said.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
watch it start to end too.
yeah.
uh, but to have them embrace you and appreciate your craft and appreciate what the art that you're giving them. It's a very humbling experience.
And I guess I should have asked this first, but how did you even get that opportunity to be in that film?
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, when I auditioned for it, I was the writer ran across my Instagram page,
Mm-hmm.
and she was actually looking for someone to fill a role, and she just knew she wanted a certain look
Mm-hmm.
and a certain build, a certain, I guess, suave, if you
Yeah.
will, certain
Yeah.
swag.
Yeah.
And I went to school with her younger sister, and she was like, you know what, you should reach out to DJ Rowell or just check out his page. And when she saw the page, she said she really thought that I may fit the bill for that character. But before all of this happened, this was just a very small independent film.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, there was no Kelly, there was no
Mm-hmm.
Derry, there was no Family Matters. This was just you know, just something for your real.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's how quick things can snowball. So once I did the audition, um, we went forward, and it was maybe like 2 months went by, and I thought, maybe they're not going to do the film. Maybe they didn't get the funds or something. And when I got that second call, it was saying that they were going to be involved in the film. So, and after I did two or three more auditions for to get the part, it worked out.
Were you able to kind of get any, because again, these are, just working with, Kelly and Darius alone was huge for you, I'm sure. But just any like tidbits from them, not only just as an actor, but like as a black man trying to navigate. Now you've navigated, basketball, you've navigated music somewhere, and now you're in acting. And being navigating those three things are completely different in themselves, I'm sure. But now you're, especially as a black man trying to navigate, I guess, Hollywood. Did they give you any tidbits about that specifically, or what was that sort of environment like, and just learning from them on how to progress professionally, as a black man in Hollywood?
I know that Darius was teaching me about energy, and
Yeah,
important it is to preserve your energy. And Sean as well. This was something, and they didn't say this together. They said this
yeah,
individually because I'm a big personality. I'm always laughing. I'm always joking. I'm keeping the room filled with energy. However, that energy is being taken away from me. And
right,
by day three or day four of filming, like I'm like completely exhausted. You know what I mean? You
right,
could almost see it in my face. They happen to apply heavier makeup because
yeah,
out of it. I've been giving energy all, and no, I'm the only one doing this. No one else is doing it. And then they finally said something individually. Hey, you're gonna have to learn how to balance that energy because you're not gonna have anything left for you. You gotta, you don't have to calm it down, but might want to take it into consideration. So the energy is was one thing that they taught me about, and it was well needed because I mean, Darius had so much energy, and I mean, this guy would be on the phone, three-way calls, FaceTiming on this other call, and the minute they say action, he's like remarkable, like it was insane.
Mhm.
I mean, he's ridiculous on that acting thing,
Right.
uh, and also treating people right because it's so small, that networking and just making those relationships. Think about it, look at you and I. We hadn't seen each other since college, but it was just
Mhm.
a quick inbox, and it was like, absolutely, Max. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
relationship. That's networking. But had you treated me some type of way, maybe I wouldn't have even responded. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Right.
that's huge. Because who's to say I wouldn't, blow up tomorrow, and you're the one that gets the exclusive on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you have my personal information, you can reach right out to me, so it's not going to be a problem at all.
Right. And then what kind of influenced your decision to just move to Atlanta? I'm just curious because people now are, I mean, for years people have been calling it like Black Hollywood, and all that stuff. But now it seems like even just Hollywood in general, like we saw like Marvel, a lot of the Marvel films like Black Panther, Avengers, and stuff got filmed in Atlanta, and a lot of Hollywood's moving to Atlanta. Like, was the acting component part of your decision to move to Atlanta, or was it business, or just out of curiosity, like what kind of
Yeah.
played into that?
The opportunity. The
Yeah.
opportunity. You can make money anywhere if you put some. a plan to what you're doing, but the opportunity sometimes, like, you may have that one chance to get a role that you just need to be like, but I need you here in an hour.
Right.
Do that from North Carolina or South Carolina.
Yeah.
You need to be there and try to beat that Atlanta traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
After that, it's just going to go to the next person. And opportunity happens just like that with a lot of these acting gigs. I remember I was watching the interview on like Michael B. Jordan when he was doing I think is it Fruitville Station?
Yeah, Fruit Rush Station is the name.
Okay.
Of it.
And that was his first leading role. He wanted to see if he could carry a film. And you can look this up, you can YouTube it, anybody who's listening. And he says that the director he ended up having a relationship with, and he liked the director so much that the director asked him if he could go and do Creed, because the director already had the movie for Creed, so he really didn't even audition.
Mm-hmm.
They loved it so much from Fruitville Station that they went and did the audition. Like, they didn't, they said, "Hey man, we got another movie coming up. Would you be interested in playing Creed's son?"
Right. And yeah, that director also directed Black Panther, and Michael B. Jordan got that role as well as Killmonger in Black Panther. So no, yeah, for sure, for sure. So, and we already see a lot of, just kind of staying in the Hollywood lane, but also changing subjects a little bit. We've kind of seen a lot of things change as a result of the Black Lives Matter movement, sort of like reigniting because of, unfortunately, the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and things like that. And we've seen people now, like, again, where Black people are in the street, but not but just Black people, but everyone sort of is kind of coming together in the streets, demanding police reform, demanding all these other things. And it's now caused businesses and in some aspects Hollywood to take a look at what's going on. So from your perspective, and this, I don't want to put you on the spot, but just whatever you think, it's no big deal. But do you think that Hollywood will start to make changes or start to see change because of the current climate we're in, and with the Black Lives Matter protests and everything like that?
I think they're going to be forced to give us more opportunity now. I think that it's been exposed and revealed of all the the balance of it, that it's not been so fair.
Right.
And we're having more of a voice now to make things happen. So I'm excited that that more people will get more roles and bigger roles in the Hollywood field. Not only just Black Hollywood, but Hollywood period.
Right.
I think a lot of what's happening now is very purposeful, and it's a movement. It is a movement, and now we're going to get some opportunities as as Blacks, as Asians, as anybody of color. Everybody's going to get more opportunities, and as they should. It shouldn't be based on the color of your skin.
Yeah. And do you feel like, because of what's been happening a lot more recently in the past couple of days, a lot of white, and this is just in the animated world, but a lot of white voice actors who were voicing Black characters are stepping down from those roles, and they're saying, what, Black people should be voicing Black characters in, Family Guy and all these animated shows or whatever. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you think that's like?
I think,
yeah.
I think that if the person is actually good enough to do it, why not? But if it's just like you're throwing them out there and they're not really, great at it, and you need a Black guy to do it, then you should probably look for a Black guy who fits the description. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing a biopic, Denzel Washington may be probably the greatest, one of the greatest actors, but he's not going to be even in consideration to play Biggie Smalls, because Biggie Smalls is 6'3" and 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So why would you? He doesn't really fit the description. I think the person that should do the voiceovers for the Black should fit the bill of the description.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as, I think and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I feel like people feel like as long as it's not, like, stereotypical or racist or rude or whatever, then like I don't think anybody's ever even thought about it that much. I think what's kind of alarming for people is that Hollywood or these casting directors or whatever weren't trying to cast black people in the first place
Mm-hmm.
with these characters, and now it's like, okay, like you were kind of seeing the issue now, like you were talking about opportunities. These opportunities in the first place probably should have been given to black people, but we're kind of seeing now that Hollywood's already starting to look at things differently. Like, okay, like maybe we need to be more sensitive to the characters that we portray and who's portraying them. But I also agree with you. I think having the right fit is important too. Best example is Darth Vader is technically a white man, but James Earl Jones was the voice of Darth Vader,
But he fit the bill. He
he
killed it.
fit, yeah, and it was the perfect thing. James Earl James Earl Jones, one of the greatest voices
Ever.
of mankind.
Morgan Freeman. I
Yeah,
mean, Morgan Freeman.
yeah, Morgan Freeman as well. So, but yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. But just kind of looking at sort of like what you're doing in the community now. Uh, a lot of black kids, and I include myself in this, and I'm sure you can relate as well. We kind of grew up with this mentality that it's either entertainment or professional sports.
And it
It's
sucks.
our only avenue of success. What are you trying to do now to change that as you work with kids and everything like that? Do you still see that?
So that's one of the reasons I started my foundation,
Yeah.
because some of those things, everybody's not going to be an entertainment star. Everybody's not going to be a sports star. Some of them will, but what about that percentage of kids that will not? So we started my foundation to advocate academic success and teach our kids lifelong skills. And through these skills, we use our leverage through basketball because I was known as a basketball player, and from my hometown, everybody knows me. And we do that to funnel in these kids, which last year we had 160 kids that are come to the camp free of charge. They're fed and they have transportation. And through our camp, we then funnel them into a reading program because everybody's not gonna kids don't jump up to say, "Yay, we want to go to a reading program." No, just
Right.
a few. You know what I'm saying? Just a
Yeah.
few, but not 160,
Right.
and that's growing. So we do this and we do basketball and we promote fun, but we do this only to captivate their attention. And once we have their attention, we then reveal to them what we think is necessary for them to evolve in life and to have and be successful, such as reading and handling anxiety, how to deal with peer pressure, and other things like teamwork, how important it is to utilize your team members. If one person isn't doing well, how do you help them if they're a part of you to bring them up to your level or balance them out? Because that's life, working with others. So basketball teaches so much, and this is just one of our programs, but it's impacting so many people and so many of these kids and these influences, and it's been a whirlwind, but we've had a ton of success with it, a ton of fun, and we're happy. Is that wifey? Hey, wife.
Yeah. Yeah. He said, "Hey." She just like walked in randomly, but uh, I'm on my headphones, so she can't hear you. But I told her you said, "Hey." But but yeah, is uh yeah, and what was the thing that kind of got you started like working with kids? Like what you're again trying to figure out your own career and you're kind of still on your trajectory, but what was the thing that made you say, "Hey, I need to like start helping out a little bit in my community and touching and really getting to the youth and everything like that?"
Definitely, I had mentors in my life that taught me a lot, helped me a lot, and helped my mental and my psyche early. That I was a little ahead of the game.
Mm,
And then when basketball the writing was on the wall that basketball was coming to an end. I
mm,
was like, how do I pass this knowledge and information on so that someone can have it earlier than what I had it? because I'm pretty sure if I would have had it just a few, maybe a year or two earlier than when I actually got exposed to that knowledge,
Mm.
probably could have made even bigger waves. So let's begin that process now with kids starting from 6 to 17 with my foundation. And everything we do is completely free so that no one has to worry about any type of kids having to pay, their parents having to find money. We
Mm.
these yearly, and we get sponsors yearly so that these kids can just show up. That's all we need you to do.
Mm.
Commit to showing up and commit to being accountable. So
Well, I'm gonna ask you this question then because I left out a component because I've got some experience with like with people who've ran nonprofits and stuff like that, and I know I can't say I know how hard it is, but from their experience telling me they've told me it's very difficult. So acting, music, basketball, nonprofit, which one
it is a lot.
is
Especially like going,
yeah.
the nonprofit, you start off again at the bottom, and then you have to, you got to get all your paperwork, your 501(c)(3), you got to pay for get the EIN numbers because you want to show people that you're for real and you're serious about this
Yeah.
and you're legit. And not only that, you can't just do it one year or one event, and people just think it's just one thing, it's gonna fly over. But this is year 5 for us, and we've been having some tremendous success. So we're excited to continue going. We started from the ground up, uh, walking business to business, trying to get sponsorships for the kids, and we document everything. And that documentation has been a huge key to showing people what their money go to, where their money goes, and those smiles on those kids' faces, you can't ignore. So.
Well, please take a couple of minutes. Tell everybody where they can like find out more if they want to help, if they want to donate, if they want to volunteer. Just I'll let you just give us all that information because I definitely want people to know, what you're doing. A lot. I see a lot of people are supporting. You have merch. What you're doing is really cool. So just promote whatever you need to. Tell my audience, man, how can they help out?
Listen, guys, if you guys want to go check out our website, it's djrowellfoundation.org. Again, that's djrowellfoundation.org. I'm wearing one of my shirts, guys. If you guys want to purchase a shirt, go to our website. You guys want to donate, you can go to the website. You can meet our team. You guys can send in emails, sign up for newsletters, everything that you're thinking about. You guys can find us on social media. You can find me on social media at Rockham Nation. Um, we've got a lot of things going on. So if you guys want to even volunteer, you guys want to be a part of our foundation, please reach out. Don't hesitate. You can find us. You can email me at djrowellfoundation.org.
You got mugs, I think, too. I saw on the
Yeah,
site.
we got
everyone needs a mug, man. Go get your mug.
mugs. We've even got wine glasses for those who want to drink apple juice out of their wine glass and
Yeah,
be fancy or something. So we got a little bit of everything. And we
yeah,
we also give personalized notes to each one of our sponsors, each one of our volunteers. We appreciate anybody who gives us any type of thought, of concern, and we appreciate it.
yeah. Well, DJ, man, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for doing this. It's already this time is flying by. It's crazy. It's but
We get busy. You already know.
yeah, yeah. Well, I want to definitely let you go ahead. I know you got a busy schedule, man. I'll let you get back to it. But thank you so much for coming, being on the show, coming inside the barbershop. We'll definitely have to chop it up soon. And I, applaud what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. And I know that you'll be successful because you're one of the hardest working people I've ever met.
I
Yeah,
appreciate you, man. We
yeah.
got to definitely link up for another one. Seriously, we'll have more time to talk about, to go more in depth about some of the acting and some of the more the fun stuff people want to know. And
Yeah, yeah,
coming in as a fan, trying to
yeah,
distinguish yourself from, okay, you got to come with it and be an actor and not be so
yeah.
it you definitely have to.
Yeah, for sure. And your film, that film, I know with COVID and everything, things have kind of been delayed, but is that already on schedule to come? Does that have a scheduled release date or?
It's supposedly releasing in December.
Okay.
It was supposed to release in July because it's a Christmas film, but
Yeah.
COVID did um slow the process down. There's a few distributors which I can't quite name, but there
Right.
it should be. I think everybody will be able to not only stream it, but they'll be able to check it out on TV as well. So
Cool.
I'm looking forward to everybody seeing it. I'm looking forward to you checking it out. Let me know what
Yes,
you think.
sir.
Getting to play uh, Kelly's son is going to be awesome, and Darius's nephew. It's
Nice.
just it's a feel good film. It's real it's cheesy. The girls are gonna like it if they like the romance and people falling. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Nice, man. Well, man, keep doing your thing. We're looking forward to it. You're right down the street from Tyler Perry, man. So we're good. I know if this blows up, man, the next thing's coming for you, man. And again, I appreciate, myself from knowing you, man. It's really cool to see that you're still doing well, and for my audience, I know they appreciated this, and we'll definitely have you back, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. Do it soon, okay?
All right, sounds good, man. Have a good rest of your weekend, dude.
You too, brother.
Let's rock, we at the barbershop. Let's rock, we at the barbershop. Stay tuned.